In today's video, I'm going to walk you through what's included in my new book, The No-Nonsense Guide to Pendulums. My name is Renu Arora, and I'm an award-winning energy healer who uses a pendulum as my primary tool. I've been using a pendulum day in and day out for over 10 years now. And in that time, I've acquired a lot of knowledge on how to get clear, accurate answers quickly. I studied biochemistry in school and was a registered dietitian in my previous career. I love taking complicated topics and breaking it down and explaining it in easy, clear language that anybody can understand. And so that's what I've done for you in my new book. Let's get started. Okay, so this book is short but packed at 90 pages in length. We cover a whole lot of stuff. Now, I don't mince words. I don't waste time, so there's not a lot of bump in here. We get straight to the point wherever possible. So, you want to see what's in here? Well, obviously we're going to start with where it all began. How did I get into using a pendulum? That's a little bit of my story. How I got into it, what can you use as a pendulum? So, there's lots of, a pendulum is a weight on a string. You can use pretty much anything as a pendulum. And so I describe a little bit about that. Why would you want to use a pendulum? What kind of things can you use it for? The body pendulum. If you know anything about pendulum at all, then the body pendulum is knowing that you can actually use your own body as a pendulum is kind of cool, and really no book on pendulums would be complete without discussing the body pendulum. How do you use it? Now that's one of the key chapters in here. Why you want to, body pendulum, how to use it. So how do you hold it? What kind of techniques can you use? Now, there are links to YouTube videos, which will help you with some of the demonstrations. And at the end of each chapter, I have key takeaways. So once again, try to keep it really streamlined, easy to follow, and as clear and concise as possible. How do you program a pendulum? So there's a whole chapter in there on getting answers, telling your pendulum what moves you want it to use, as opposed to having your pendulum tell you what moves it wants. There's a whole thing on that. I'm not going to describe that here, but I believe very strongly that you should program your own pendulum. And then a whole pile of tips on how to get answers quickly, how to make it fast and accurate. Again, more things you can do with a pendulum, extra tips on how to program, or what moves you should use and shouldn't use. There's a bunch of ideas behind that. Again, it's all about being clear, concise, and accurate. And then who are you talking to? Who are you actually connecting to when you are using your pendulum? What kinds of questions should you ask? What should you not ask? What's going to help you become more confident in using a pendulum and really strengthen your intuition, and what will just shoot that all up in flames? If you ask the wrong questions, you can start getting bad answers and start to really doubt yourself. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to recognize pendulums as the amazing, phenomenal tool they are. A little bit about talking about what your pendulum's made of, or what it should be or shouldn't be. Tips on how to buy a pendulum. Acclimating to your pendulum. There's a lot of lore on what you should do to start getting used to using it. And then I have a section on how to use a pendulum to heal. That's my bread and butter. That's what I do for a living. I do pendulum healing, and so I've got some 101 strategies and tips on how you can start healing with a pendulum. Then obviously there's how to take care of it, and I walk you through what a pendulum session looks like from beginning to end. A few tips on when your pendulum does weird things, because if you've used a pendulum, you will have already experienced that, I'm sure. And if you haven't yet, be prepared. It will occasionally do some weird stuff on you. And then a few final words. And in the appendix, I've got some little dowsing charts you can use. And to go along with the healing tools that I have a, I call it my clues list. And once you go through the healing section, you'll know what to do with that clues list. So there you go. From newbies to advanced dowsers, there is a lot of great stuff in here for everyone. If you like what you hear and are interested in getting a copy for yourself, then check out the information in the description for this video, and you'll be able to find a copy in your neck of the woods. Hope you enjoy it.